Okay, so that's obviously Jean. Crap. Just want to get over here. Hey, look at that. Yeah! More health. Oh goody! More exposition. Valkyrie military transport. Unfittingly for a city for its small size, Vigrid plays host to a large military airbase. The roar of takeoff and landings that engulf the city are not that of passenger planes, but of incredibly large military transport jets known as Valkyries. I have been aboard American military transports many times in official capacity and have seen many of the finest jets up close. However, none compares to even a distant view of a Valkyrie. The size difference is clearly evident, like the difference in size between a crow and an eagle. To think that something that large can fly in the sky is something that I still cannot believe, despite having seen it with my own eyes. Of course, there is no doubt that the cargo it carries is quite dangerous, so seeing the plane's huge mass literally drop onto the runway during landing causes me to feel a deep anxiety, as if the weight of the plane were literally landing on my shoulders. It leads one to wonder what the authorities are bringing into this little principality with all the extreme security they have in place. Vigrid has long since cut most ties with the outside world and has reared itself within its own unique culture. Perhaps it is this influence that led to the Valkyrie's equally unique design. At a glance, one can see the deep religious influence in its design, or perhaps that view is simply our deference to a plane born of technology so different from our own that we simply nod our heads in astonishment at the miracle of flight. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get that bird. Bird. That's a good move if you're surrounded by enemies, especially if you hold it. It's this. Or exposition. Gallahorn Defense Initiative. At the center of the man-made island of Isla del Sol, there is a display of sheer military force unimaginable for the likes of Vigrid. A display whose menacing power even I cannot shake. While there is very little public face to these efforts, if my information is correct, the military spending here rivals that of even the great powers in the world. Moreover, amongst the towers of enterprising government, other buildings stand as anti-aircraft countermeasures. These buildings, a strategic defense initiative known as the Gallahorns, are equipped with a battery of anti-aircraft SAM missiles and have been placed in 4 corners of the island. What in the world would cause a small place like this to install such dramatic defenses? There is also word that the Americans are involved in the armament and expansion of the military complex here. It is said that the Ithaval group is undertaking some sort of next-generation energy research and thus has traded rights to this technology for added force to arms. It is not a wholly unbelievable story. Seeing all of the military takeoffs and landings here in Vigrid, I don't want to think their destination is actually the place I call home. Okay, I don't want to buy anything in the shop. Just want to see if there's anything. No, okay. Where the flip-flap do I... Oh, okay. No, okay. This must be... I think I know. I think I have to press a button. What? Huh. Interesting. So where do I go from here? Unless I have to go, like, all the way over there, which I don't think I have to, but I will try nonetheless. No. Ah, hello. Okay, the frame rate is actually taking a little dive. Whoa, hello. Taking a little dive. Huh. Oh, okay, there we go. I just didn't hit the right part. Gold.
Back to your old self, are we?
What? I couldn't hear you from all the way down here. What with all this wind and heavy machinery and all?
Why so glum? Something troubling you? Only your constant fretting over my state of affairs. I've no time to play games with you. No need to take out your stress on me, Bayonetta. It's clear you're worried for the girl.
I'm surprised that did not hurt me. Wow.
me where she is. Now. My, aren't we attached to our precious little one? Do you like it when she calls you Mummy? You're absolutely delusional. If I leave her, he'll never shut up about it. And his whining is twice as irritating as anything the child could muster. You've quite the tongue when it comes to curling round the truth. And what about you? What are you hiding? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think these might mean something to you. I've no need for worthless junk. I am well aware of my task, but you have forgotten that I do not need your help. It seems your little friend is gone forever.
What? Can't hear you between the horrible audio balancing.
Fill them. Fill your eyes with hatred. Accept your violent fate. Accept it and earn the left eye. Prove you deserve it.
Adios. Damn. That's not fair. She gets a motorcycle. Fuck yeah! Say hello to Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore.
Teresa. Not yet. She isn't ready.
Exposition, exposition. Treasure of the clans, the eyes of the world. Good, maybe we'll learn more about these eyes of the world. Several hundred years ago, the now vanished clans of the Umbra Witches and Lumen Sages stood as overseers of time immemorial, thriving from their remote European base known as Vigrid. However, their reign quickly came to a close via a violent war that ended in their mutual destruction. Their war, lasting for 100 years, saw the witches and their campaign of assassination push them to the brink of victory, yet the people's fear of these powerful women spawned the witch hunts, and eventually both clans vanished into the ether. Long serving the powers that be, it is said that the clans did not use their power to interfere with history, but rather to protect its passage. We are told that they carried out these duties via use of the treasured eyes of the world. Yet, what this statement means is anyone's guess. What is clear is that the clan's very existence was closely linked to historical change, so much so that even kings and emperors feared the clan's power. There were two eyes of the world, one each controlled by the witches and the sages, which then, used together, were able to carry out their stated task of overseeing. To prevent the power of these eyes from being used for nefarious purposes, they were equally split, and the clans prohibited interrelations in an effort to maintain the balance of power that existed between them. The irony is that the grand war that led to the clan's destructions was sparked by these very treasures. After their downfall, the eyes of the world suddenly disappeared. Information about them is extremely limited. Okay, I don't know what I just did. Okay, well done. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, it was limited. What sort of item were the eyes? What shape did they take? All this remains unknown. The black markets recently saw a large gemstone come onto the market bearing the name of the Eyes of the World, although it may be a different item under the same name, or even a mafia scum meant to gauge market reaction. There is no proof that the ancient treasure was actually a gem, but there is reliable, albeit troubling, information regarding the treasure and the CEO of the Ithelval group. It is said that he is in search of some unknown item for his development project in Next Generation Energy, but whether it has any relation to this matter requires further research.
Cockroaches or crying babies. Time to go, everyone. Hold on tight, okay? Okay.
Ow. Help over there. Okay, you just sit back down there. That's right, because the water level's rising. I'll put you up here, farthest away from the water. Yeah, you do that. Good. More. Okay. Okay, let's get out of here. Oh, shit. Oh my god. There we go. Once again, convenient moon.